to hide my scars, but you specialize in wounded things.
You waited up for me because you never sleep, you never slumber. I'm healing as we speak, 'cause you specialize in shattered dreams.
And I love the way you embrace broken people like me. I love the way you never turn away broken people like me.
Rejection haunted me. I suffered silently till you came. You called my past redeemed, 'cause you specialize in rescuing.
I love the way you embrace broken people like me. I love the way you never turn away broken people like me. I love the way you embrace broken people like me. I love the way you never turn away broken people like me. Broken people like me. Come on, New Breed. Raised out of the ashes, I'm singing and dancing. You put me back together. You put me back together. I'm fully accepted. I've always been welcomed here. 'Cause you love broken people. Raised out of the ashes. Raised out of the ashes. I'm singing and dancing. You put me back together. Oh, put me back together. I'm fully accepted. Always been welcome. Always been welcome. You love broken people. Out of the and I'm brave. Singing and dancing. Put me back together.
You are our heart's one desire, thirsty for you. We are thirsty for you, and you are our heart's one desire. Only you can satisfy. Only you can satisfy. Let's sing that together. You are, say, you are one desire, thirsty for you. Yeah, thirsty for you. Say you are. You're my one desire, and only Will you dwell here? Father, dwell here. Woo. And move whatever's in your way. Whatever took your place. Say you are, say you are. One desire. We're thirsty for you. Come on, if that's your prayer, just tell him we're thirsty. Say, yes, Lord. Say you are my one desire, and only you can satisfy.
See peace come, not like pray when you feel peaceful. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so
I'm still alive cause you saved me once again. G.O.D. Time after time, you the only.
Morning, Heart Church fam. It's Pastor Tiffany here, and welcome to another edition of Heart-to-Heart, or should I say, a re-edition. Today, we're going to be playing an episode that we did last year with a panel of some of our women here at Heart Church that we just love and adore. And we're doing this in honor of Women's History Month. Women's History Month is important, and it's so important to me personally, just because of all of the strides, the advances, the literal history that we are making now as women is just, it's mind blowing. I'm honored to be a woman. I'm honored to pastor women. I'm honored to be associated with women. We're doing some really amazing things, and there's still work to be done. And I know that we're out there. We're working hard. We're we're on the grind, on the go. But also, I'm always going to plug self-care in that, because that's important for us to do as women as well. We need to recharge. We need to regroup and continue to connect and commune with God and with one another. So I hope that today, the message, although it's a replay, I hope that it still blesses you and there's still some nuggets you can get out of it. We like to be very real and very authentic here at Heart Church. So I hope you enjoyed this conversation. And let's continue it. Let's keep things going. My blessings to all of you. Happy International Women's History Month, year, all the things. Women are worth celebrating, and I personally celebrate all of you all today. God bless. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Heart to Heart. Ladies. Hey. Okay. Ladies. And I'm excited because I have three of the most amazing women that I know, that I love. And I'm not biased. I mean, they're really awesome in their own right. They're all very, very accomplished. They're gorgeous. They love the Lord. And they're here with me today. I'm excited. So, ladies, some of you all may know who some of these lovely women are. If you are no stranger to Heart Church, then you will know them. But in case you don't, can we do intros?
Yeah, just name, or is there anything special you want to know?
If you want names, if you want to drop something real quick, you can, but no pressure.
All right. My name is Erica Finner. I have been at Heart Church since it was founded, so I am very excited to be here with you ladies. Happy Women's History Month.
Yes.
Hey, Heart Church. So I'm Keita. I've been a member of Heart Church for a little over a year. This is special to me because I'm a women's health provider and it's Women's Health Month. So I'm excited to be here to talk it up with the ladies tonight.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, Heart. I am Jessica Sims. Go by Jess. And I've been at Heart Church since the inception, the visions over the kitchen table. So, and happy to be here and happy to celebrate Women's History Month with my sisters.
Yes. So, yes, like a few of us said, it is Women's History Month. And so we are paying homage to all of us, having some discussions today about us. Black History Month is in February. And so I think it's not a coincidence now how it's like, okay, we got Black History Month and then bam, we right into Women's History. So they all just kind of like collide. So we're going to talk about all things just Black women today.
Yeah.
You know, this is going to be a very authentic conversation. We've already been here just talking about stuff and like having a good time. So, you know, we're just putting on the smiles and like, you know, trying to make sure we're polished for you all. But we've been in here cracking up, talking about music and all the things. So, but let's do this. Let's just kind of like break up the ice a little bit. Okay. I'm going to just fire off a couple of like questions really quick and y'all just answer them, okay?
Sounds
real quick.
Got it.
So, Chipotle or Kava?
Chipotle.
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 I know, and I love Kava, but I was telling y'all I went to Chipotle even when no one was supposed to be going. So it was worth the risk.
All right.
Risking it all for Chipotle.
All right. A beat face or makeup free?
Am I beating my face? That sounded weird. But am I doing it myself or is someone else doing it for me?
If you had to do it.
Oh, makeup free.
Makeup free.
Oh, a light beat. Y'all know.
Yeah. I'm like here. I'm all about the skincare, but
This is all
I'm always
courtesy
running late.
of Jess.
Okay.
Put on the lip. Gotta put on the lip.
Yeah.
I have nothing on today. I'm going to be beat for the next couple of days. So I was like, I'm
Fresh
not.
face.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm totally getting into skincare too. I'm going to tell you, I've been
my gosh.
getting I've been buying stuff
obsessed.
like crazy. It is insane, like my skincare stuff now. So we have to talk about
We
that.
do, because I will help you build a whole routine. I love, like, it is.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay.
I don't know if it can be a hobby, but it's my hobby.
Oh yeah,
I love
it's
it.
fun now. I'm
Yeah.
like between makeup and skincare, I'm like I am
yeah.
spending money,
Yeah.
and I'm unapologetic
So
about
many
it.
YouTube
So
all of
videos.
that.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah. Okay. The Bible app or an actual Bible? You can feel the pages.
Bible app.
Bible app.
Definitely the Bible app.
I have a million Bibles, but yeah, Bible app.
Yeah, it's just right there.
I know.
Yeah.
You can take notes right
I like
in
the
it.
streak. I like to be like, yeah. Look
Yeah.
how long I've been opening it, and then I like fall
Yeah,
off.
that
and I
streak.
get
Yeah,
so-
that streak. You open that thing one time, and it's like, oh yes, okay, I get
Yeah.
my streak. Then the first day, okay, I'm good.
Right. I think the plans are good too. You know,
Yeah.
you can follow plans with friends
Oh,
and
that's
family.
much better. I'm
so.
like,
yeah.
the competitive part of me is like the streak, and Jess is like the word.
Yeah, you know, it's so funny.
The plan.
Like I'm on there, like, but I don't like add friends and stuff. So like
Interesting.
because I'm like I feel like it's not a social app for me. I'm like it's
Yeah.
the word. So I see my friends all the time. Or somebody like said, "Oh, I want to be your friend," and I like. I deny. I'm sorry. I decline because I'm like, it's personal.
Yeah.
You don't need to know what I'm reading in the word. Like,
I'm like, 'cause I just feel like they try to make every app like a social thing. I'm like, can we, you
Yeah.
know, everything don't have to be social.
Kind of like
anything
before
sacred.
LinkedIn became social, and it was just like
true.
where you put your resume, and
Yeah.
now it's real.
It's a whole
social.
thing. Look,
Yeah.
I'm on LinkedIn heavy, so I'm like,
Yeah,
it's a,
yeah.
it's a,
So
it's a
just you
thing.
wait and see. I know you hitting the decline, but I guess it's coming to the Bible app next. The next
we'll
social
see.
platform.
We'll see. That means I'll be turning to the real pages.
I just think the Bible app, especially during the pandemic, is just a way for me to communicate with and be a little
that's a
bit
good point.
accountable. Because
Yeah.
if I do a plan with somebody, I feel like that's accountability.
Yeah,
you know,
no, that
as
is that
well.
is. Look, maybe I need to be. I
That's
need to
what-
add some of
that's
y'all
what I
because.
Well, let me resend my invite.
Okay, yes. I'll accept. Okay, you can find me on there. Okay, so let's go ahead and just kind of hop right into things because you know I want to make sure we have time to like talk, and I know we're not gonna have all the time. We may have to do a part 2. We'll see how things are kind of going and flowing. I'm sure Pastor Miracle won't be mad at that if we happen to take over April, but you know.
Love it.
Since it is Women's History Month, like we said, it's hard being a woman, but it's also like so empowering being a woman too.
Absolutely.
And we're in 2024 now, and talking about like the successes of all of us as women, and then talking about the stressors and the things that it's like. Wow, like we're still fighting this here. This is still happening. And then with us being Black women, there's another level added to that. And we'll get into that first. I like to dive into like the good things first, share the good news, and then we can dive into like the other things. So, but when it comes to like the successes and like one of like the great things about being a woman in this day and age, I definitely feel like we have come a long way as far as our careers and what we do every day. I know there's still a lot of work to do, but I would just like to stop and just celebrate the fact that there are a lot of Black women doing a lot of amazing things, like right now out here.
Amazing.
And it's so much that we have to do to get to these levels, to get to these seats, to get to these tables. But we are doing it. We are doing it. And even like just sitting here with all of you, like you all are all like so successful in your own right. So I do want to just, celebrate you all and all the things that you are doing and changing the world. But yeah, like I'm just going to kind of leave this one open to whoever just wants to catch on to it. But just, how do you feel about like the things, like all of our wins, like our wins at work?
Yeah. I know.
I think I will say, for me personally,
Right. Dr. Keita.
Yes.
when I first started the medical field, I don't know, 20 years ago, I didn't see anyone who looked like me. And all the OBGYN world was dominated by men. You never really saw a female doctor, and that always was puzzling to me. Like, okay, it's women, our bodies. How come there's no women and definitely no one who looks like me? Wow. And now when I can look around, right now I currently work in a practice where we're all women. There's no men in my practice.
Love it.
And there's more of us in leadership roles, directors. And so for me to be in this position now, it's like, wow, look at what God has done. Look at the promises fulfilled, and what I thought now has come to fruition. So so we've come leaps and bounds. We still have some way to go, but now there's seat for me at the table. So it's good.
And I think it's like, it's good to, now that I feel like when I see more Black women, in certain roles and certain seats, it's like, it's possible now, and like just thinking back to just being little girl Tiff and, not seeing Black women in a lot of these, roles, and definitely not CEOs, like, there wasn't a thing. And so now it's like, whether they're, at other companies or they're starting their own, like, there are so many just Black women who are just
like, okay, you don't want to make a place for me at the table? I'll build my own.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. And I'm like, and so, women they're doing that full time. Like, I know, like, I do, that's what I do. I'm an entrepreneur. Or you have women who are like doing both, who are,
entrepreneurs,
doing those
jobs.
full-time roles and then coming out and like doing like other things.
While
and
also being wives and mothers and sisters and caretakers of parents and all of the above.
All the above.
Yeah.
All the above.
Yeah.
I think the secret's out. I think the world has always known the power and the beauty of a Black woman, but I think it is more so seen, like what Black women have been called upon, I think, in our society right now, whether it is political, whether it's in the boardroom, organizationally, in our families. And I think people see, like, if you need something done, you get a Black woman to do it. Like, it will be to completion. And so, I mean, like, there's no other race or gender that I would rather be. It's a beautiful struggle, but it is, there is so much beauty in it. And I think with the question, successes and the stressors, they almost go hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
So it's the balance and finding that as a Black woman too. Like, how do you do everything with the spirit of excellence and to completion, and making sure everyone is happy, but also making sure that, you yourself are happy and that you're being served and that you're taking care of yourself in the process of making sure all the things around you are working so well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say this too, and this is, it's not small to me, because I think it's really important. And even just looking at us now, we're all different in that, but like the leaps and bounds that we have that we have like crossed in regards to our hair, like even at work, like when I say like I used to like I could not wear braids to work. Like no one said you can't wear them, but you knew like you can't
Unspoken
wear
rules.
Yeah, you can't do
Especially
this.
from black
What?
moms.
Locks?
Right.
Locks at work?
Like you couldn't do stuff like this. I mean, and it's sad that we had to have a whole act, this the Crown
the
Act
Crown
or
Act,
whatever.
yeah.
But I'm like, the fact now that women are out here wearing their
Or
hair,
choosing
like
to shave it all off. Not
Yes.
because they're sick, but just like,
just cause
I have a beautiful head. and
yes.
I'm okay with
confident
it.
enough that I don't have to have hair.
Yep.
Like Cynthia Erivo. I
Makes
think
me-
it's
Yes. Oh yeah.
She had
She's
a whole-
gorgeous.
and how it's so generational. Like I had a whole debate with my grandma.
Wow.
And I know. Sorry, but like where I was like, no, like she's choosing. She's making a choice that she doesn't want to have hair.
Yeah.
That it's too much work, or that she likes
That's right.
her face just fine without it. And as someone who has chopped my hair off, grown it, like it is very satisfying to be like, especially as a black woman, like today I want braids.
Yes.
Next week I might have a really cute wig. The
Yes.
month after that I might have natural hair.
Right.
Yep.
And then I might have braids again.
That's right.
And
Then a Holly Berry
this is fun.
haircut. You know?
Like,
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think like that's how it should be looked at. It's like this is an expression of myself and I can have fun with this instead
Yep.
of like this is what I have to do to conform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is
Yeah.
so interesting you said that, Eric, because I was just talking to Jess the other day about when I went on my first interview for my first MP job. I had just been natural, and I was battling back and forth. Do I straighten my hair, or do I go in with the Afro puff?
Yep.
And I ended up straightening my hair then because I wanted the job, and I was
Yeah.
so anxious about how it would perceive, how that will look, what's that going to look. And then I thought later, 12 years later, when I interviewed for my job, okay, well, this is what you get.
Yes.
This is what I got.
you
I'm starting my
hire me?
sister locks. This is it. This is me, and this is what you're going to get.
Yes.
And not judgment. And I felt confident in that versus what I could say how I felt 10 years ago going in. But I knew when I see all these other women, it gave me the confidence like, oh, I can go in there, I can rock my hair the way I want. It's in my skill, and it's be
Yeah.
confident in my skills. So.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that people don't make comments about
That's
hair.
right. Absolutely.
And I
Oh,
think
absolutely.
that's-
Oh, absolutely.
Where it's like,
still
oh, your
there.
hair's braided today.
Yeah.
Can I touch it? Can I touch it?
But, yes.
Yeah.
It's
Who
like,
don't you touch a black woman's hair?
I liked it better when it was straight.
Straight.
It's like I didn't ask you.
Ask you, like,
Yeah,
We're not
absolutely.
thought leaders in my hair. Like,
yeah.
Thanks for your opinion.
Yeah.
So and I think that's like the other great empower thing is like, people still have opinions.
That's
People
right.
still are uneducated or ignorant, but I'm just going to be comfortable in rocking my hair however I feel like wearing it today.
Exactly. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. And so,
That's fine.
You know,
Can
and-
I touch it? No.
it's
Yes,
how do you
I know.
get
As
it
they
like that?
reach.
Exactly.
How
Yeah.
do you get it like, how does it do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how to do this.
Is
I
this
paid someone to
yours?
do this.
Yes, I paid for it. It's mine.
Exactly.
All of it's more
Every bit of
interesting
it, all the inches.
for you guys, because I'm more on the medical side, but you guys are more corporate. So how did you take that transition? Like, just like now you're transition. How are you feeling about?
Just starting it. I'm baby stepping it. But like Tiff, I started in television news, and there was not a day in which you would see a black anchor or reporter with braids.
Yeah.
I think 2017 was the first time I got braids as an adult. 2017.
Wow.
Like I was in the working world for 11
Wow.
years at that
Yeah.
point.
Wow.
But yeah, no braids or anything like that. And I was in a very liberal environment at this time in my career. And so it was acceptable. There were people with locks, but you know, even today, you kind of think about it, and I would share a story that I started my new job about last July, very corporate environment, and I got braids for Congressional Black Caucus. This is a really big thing here in D.C., and I had braids, and I was like, ooh, should I take my braids out? I don't know. There's execs going to be there. There's going to be women and men, like, coming from our company. This is the first impression. And I walked into CBC, and we had an entire pavilion that, you know, we sponsored at CBC. And every black woman exec had braids in their hair. And I was like, right, exactly. And I do believe the more we become comfortable with it and that we're okay with expressing our hair and the beauty of it, others are okay as well. Like my team member, there's no pushback. It's no like, oh, no, you know. And I work with a lot of people of the dominant culture, you know, so it's really a transition. So I think if we stand up in our power, others will just have to, you know, get on board.
Yeah, and look, and the word said it. We are fearfully and wonderfully
Wonderfully
made.
made.
And especially as Black women, we
Yes.
are. So we need to
Yes.
just continue to stand in
Yes.
it and own it. And I just love it.
Yes.
I'm here for it. Like, I feel like it's so much freedom in it now. I'm like, let's just get to work. Like,
yeah.
y'all better be happy when I get these braids put in, because that means that's one less thing I got to worry
Yeah.
about. I got more time.
Right.
Yes, I'm
Yeah, I
gonna be
love it. I
like,
love it.
ready
Scarf
to
off,
work.
decide to work.
Right. Yeah, it's time to work. It's time to go. So I'm like, y'all, chill. So
It's also generational too, like we're opening doors for little
Yes.
girls. Like even, they love their natural hair, their
Yeah.
puffs, their curls and braids.
yes, yes,
And it's just so beautiful that they embraced it. They won't even know a world where we had these type of conversations. And this was
Yeah.
a thing for us.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Maybe it was an article I read, but it was a mom who was like, I've been encouraging my daughter to like embrace her curls and that her hair is beautiful. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
I'm straightening it. So she was like, I went natural to set an example for my daughter that black is beautiful. However, your curls are perfect the way they are.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me as a mom, like I'm not a mother, but like she was saying, like it's hard for me as a mom to like be telling her all these things.
That's right.
Meanwhile, I'm not like wearing my own natural hair. So she was
Yeah.
like, like becoming a mom also, she was like, for the next generation, I want her to be comfortable, so I need to show her that it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of that and setting an example and showing an example, that kind of shifts the conversation a little bit to this new space that we're in as Black women called the soft girl era. And essentially that is us being, finally being in a space where we're okay to like let go of some things, not be superwoman,
Yeah.
Be
human.
Yes,
Yeah.
not stressing all those things.
Yeah.
And I said that kind of connected because it's like having daughters and then just even or nieces, cousins, whatever. It's important for them to see that in us.
Yeah.
I don't do it as often, but I try to like take like a monthly like staycation where like once a month I am like at least take one night and I like go to a hotel and just
Be.
chill. And the girls are like, "Mommy, where are you going?" And I tell them I'm going to a hotel. And so now they know. They're like, "Mommy, where are you at? Are you at the hotel?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am."
Wow.
But like I do that so that like, well, I do it for myself because mama needs a break. But I do it too, and I tell them so that when they get older, like they can feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
And they don't have any guilt behind it, or they don't feel like, I don't know if I should do this. Like, no, it's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to put yourself first and I tell them, I was like, well, you want me to be a good mommy, right? And I want to be a good mommy. So the best way for me to do that is, for mommy to take some time, every now
So
and
good.
again. So, yes, I feel like just as a whole, like, I see that now more, the soft girl era, like, women are really just, taking their power back in that way. And so, I'm just curious to hear about, if any of you all, well, I'm laughing, I'm trying to act all, I'm curious. I know that some of these ladies here have been in their soft girl era, at one point or another, taking time off, taking time away, doing the thing. So whoever wants to share about your soft girl era experience, lay it on us.
I know, right? Most recently.
I am the most recent soft girl era. Last year I started a new project and I was very excited for it in the beginning, and I was like, this is going to elevate my career and this is going to be great. And I started and I was like, what is happening? And then slowly, over time, I went from being like excited to being cautiously optimistic to being just completely like terrified and stressed and burnt out. And I was talking to a mentor, a friend at work, and she was like, "You need a break." And I was like, "But how can I?" She said, "We're going to get on the phone with your HR partner and we're going to figure out how to make this work, because you can't go on like this. And I was so convinced that like everything was going to fall apart. I was going to lose my job. I was going to lose my house and have to move in with my parents. And my dad was like, get it together.
Yeah.
So even in that, like, I didn't take the break easily.
Yeah.
But I did end up taking a leave of absence from work, and it was the smartest thing I've done,
Wow.
and probably in my entire career. And just to be able to be Erica and not have to wake up and report to anyone else, but make sure my dog is fed and walked and I'm good, and rest, and even go on vacation and come back and not be stressed and anxious about the emails that I missed. So I just strongly recommend, like, even if it's a few weeks, 2 weeks, if you can, like, everyone needs a break. And especially as, like, Black women, we go and we go. Because I think even earlier you said just, like, making sure people are happy. And during my leave, like, I didn't tell people in my family I was taking leave. And it's not because I thought that they would abuse it, but I was just like, this is for me. Like, I'm not taking leave to take anyone to the store.
Right.
I'm not taking leave to, like, do XYZ for anyone else. I'm doing this so that I don't have a mental breakdown. Like, for real.
Yeah.
So my aunt the other day was like, I didn't know you took a leave. I said, I know. My parents knew, and I just kept it at that because that's what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Because if you think I'm working all day, you're not going to call me. You're not going to ask me to take anyone to this. You're not going to ask me to babysit because you think I'm working. And it's not me being, it's just what I had to do to set that boundary. And even in going back, understanding, okay, I don't have to be available to everyone. I don't have to pick up the phone. I don't have to say yes. I'm allowed to say no. And I'm still worthy. And I think that that's what
That's key.
I'm still working on. But there's so many times what we think we're worthy of, and we tie our value to what we can do for others and how we can save others and how we show up for others. We're really, like, even if I can't show up for you today, I'm still a good friend. I still love you dearly. But if I am trying to pour into you and show up for you, I'm not even showing up for you in the way you need me because I am so depleted.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Soft girl. I didn't even know it was called soft girl era, but like, I'm going to be in soft girl era for the rest of my life.
Yes.
And Eric, I think you hit upon something like just being worthy of that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think many times people tell us, just culturally, that we're deserving of rest. I, too, had to take a break, but I actually leave a job for that. But I remember when contemplating, is this working for me? Like, I realized that I was last on the to-do list. That I had a long to-do list, and Jess was last. Everything else was priority, and not me. And I heard one of my really good friends say, you know, thinking about it, Jess, I never saw my mother rest. Because I never saw her sleep. I said, wait, what? She was like, no. As we're talking about, you know, needing to take a break, she was like, when I got up, she was up and working and had been up for hours. And when we went to bed, she was up and preparing things for, you know, the next day or cleaning or she's like, I never saw my first example of Black womanhood rest.
Yeah.
And I think that just impacted me in such a way that I was like, this cannot be my story. That's not, you know, who I want to be. And like, rest is truly revolutionary.
It is.
And it can truly like revolutionize your life, your family, like, and you show up better.
Regenerate. Yeah.
Absolutely. When you prioritize yourself, you show up better. It's for other people. So.
Wow. I'm gonna be like y'all when I grow up. Okay.
Come on, girl.
I love it.
Join the club.
I love. Well,
I'm
you
not
know,
in soft life right now.
Well, you know, I mentioned I do like the monthly. I try. I used to be really good at it, but I'm trying to be more intentional about it now. I can't. At this point in my life, I can't like take, you know, weeks or a month off. One day it's coming, but
right.
I think even like building in those small moments, like I said, of just kind of doing like a staycation, or if it's like, hey, I'm gonna take this afternoon off. Like I took off tomorrow because it's my birthday,
your birthday.
and I
You
took
know
off,
it's
you
your
know,
birthday.
Friday. So, but I felt like, and I say take off, like I work for myself, but it's still like, but it, like, so I blocked my calendar.
You
but
checked with the
still,
boss and it was okay.
yeah, oh yeah, it is. I'm the boss, right? That's a whole nother thing. But I'm like, it's okay. Like, and I, you know, I know people who like always take off for their birthday. They're like, yeah, it's my birthday. I'm like, so like,
Don't work my birthday.
so yeah, I always do. I'm like, it's still a work day, you know. But this year I said, no, like,
Take off.
I'm just gonna take it off just because, like, just because. So I'm like, I'm smiling. I'm really proud of myself for doing that because, like, I always work on my birthday because I'm like, but I love birthdays too. But anybody else's birthday, I'm like, I'll take off for somebody else's birthday
Before you take off
before
for
I take
your
off for my own.
Right.
So I'm excited about that.
I'm
so
excited
like I said,
for
it's
you.
small, but you know, I try to fit things
I hope it
in
becomes a trend
where
for
I
you.
can.
Yeah.
Moments
I
of joy.
think so.
I think it should be.
Yeah.
I think it should be a holiday, like a self holiday.
Personal holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm totally there in the soccer area yet.
Ebbs and flows. I'm not there right
But
I really
I always
got
take off
pushed
for my birthday, but I will say Jess has got me into the staycation
Okay.
thing.
Inspo.
And so I totally enjoy just taking a whole Saturday and doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Because I feel when I'm at home that I'm like, oh, I gotta wash clothes, I gotta run this errand, I gotta check emails, I got sorority responsibilities, I got, you know, all these things just pile up that you think is your Saturday, but then your Saturday becomes a whole 8-hour
Yeah.
whole thing
Yes.
easily.
Yeah.
And so I am slowly trying to get into the staycation
Yes.
mindset, and I think it's just me as the nurse in me, the caring, the nurturer. I'm always thinking of doing something else, taking care of something else. I do bring work home. I'm trying to get a work-life balance, but the best thing I can say for myself on my last job, when I realized that I was just being worked to death, and I said no, and I quit, sold my house, and I moved here and
Yes.
started something different. So I don't want to bring those old habits
Yeah.
to the new space.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so I think just a reminder of that. So just having this conversation, listen to that. And thank you, Erica, for being very transparent and sharing that, because I think a lot of us, we suffer in silence.
Ooh. Yes.
And when we really talk to others, you see that most of us are having those feelings. But I think it is a culture for us. Oh, you're black girl, you strong. Girl, be strong. Suck it up. Be strong. And I think that culture, because we want to get to where we want to get, like in our careers or whatever goal it is you set, that we suck up all this and we say, we have to do this. We have to work this many hours. I have to do this because I have to shine. I have to prove myself. I'm, you know, only one of us here. So I think another thing about us being in these different spaces and seeing more of us, that we don't feel like, oh my gosh, we have to struggle here to prove that, hey, I deserve to be here. I deserve to, you know, and you take the work home, you do this, you take all this in, but it's just like you said, then what's the product of that?
Yeah.
You know, and we think about God, how he went off
Yes, he did.
and spent time
Yes.
on his own for 40 days. So we're talking about these staycation, taking months off, and he went
Yeah, Jesus was
peaceful
good for that.
and went
Yeah.
like,
Went
so
off.
that is us
off
example
and
for us
prayed. He
women.
was like-
Exactly. Like I'm going off to pray.
Yeah,
I'm telling
did all these
everybody,
miracles.
Yeah.
I'm going here.
Yeah. I gotta
So-
refuel.
I'm sitting on the boat
Yeah.
in the middle of a storm. Like,
Yes.
he's like,
So I think
no
in
more
that,
rest.
we have these
Yes.
examples of that we shouldn't be ashamed, because that's a
Christ-like.
primary example
Yeah.
Yeah.
of
that's-
what we should be doing.
that's actually
really
that's
good.
actually very good. Yeah, Jesus had no problem
Yeah, no
whatsoever
problem.
in
Yeah,
taking
no
his
problem.
rest, and that's, look, if we supposed to be like Christ, so
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
But you know, Keita, it was something you were saying as far as like, you know, how we take on like so much work and do all this stuff because we're trying to get to these certain roles and certain levels. And, you know, that is because, you know, we have to work not even twice as hard. We got to work like 5 times as
Yeah.
hard as like everybody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, the men, the white, you know, all this stuff to even get to these levels. And kind of shifting into like the stressors and the things that we have to deal with as black women. This has been coming up so much now. And I don't want to say it's new. It probably isn't, but you know, they just normally sweep things under the rug. But I'm glad things are being talked about now and things are being shared and the spotlight is on it. But now it's like, okay, we as black women, we get to these roles and these positions and then we're here and then we're out. So it's either like we're getting kicked out, we're dying, they're forcing retirement, whatever the case is. Like, so we get these roles, and then it's like all of a sudden, I don't know how many school presidents,
College professors,
presidents,
the
presidents, college professors, CEOs. Like, people are just they're either getting kicked out of their positions, or these women are literally dying. Literally dying because people aren't taking them seriously. People are still, like, we're still being oppressed at work. And it's like, I think, like, over the last couple of months, it's been a lot of women that I've just, like, read about that have either had some health issues. One woman, she took her own life because she had talked about, like, she had wrote letters and emails to the school about how she was essentially getting bullied and all this stuff, and they did nothing about it. And, like, my heart hurts. It does. Like, it just, I'm really sad about all of that. So, again, just kind of opening it up to see, what you all think about that, and what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah. One of the things that I really thought about while I was on leave, and then I talked to my therapist about it, and she was like, correct, was as I said, like, I put on all this pressure on myself of, like, if I take this job, I'm going to get promoted. If I do this, then, I got to prove myself worthy. And while I was on leave, I was like, do I even want that promotion? Like, do I even want more people to report to me? Because being people, like, leading people is a lot. Like, do I even? And I realized that for me, a lot of it was, if I don't get this promotion, and if I'm at this career level for this long, like, what does it say about me? Like, am I worthy? Am I good enough? And God was like, yes. Yes, you could literally accomplish nothing else, and I've already deemed you worthy. And that, like, was so freeing for me, because now I'm like, I'm going to be the best manager. I'm going to do great. I'm have these subject matter, like, I'm a subject matter expert of this, and I will be recognized, and I know that I'm great at it, and I'm not going to kill myself to get a promotion. I don't even want it. Like, I only want it because I want you to recognize that I'm worthy and that I'm amazing and that I know all these things, when really I already know that I'm a subject matter expert. Like, you already know that because y'all blow me up all day. So like, you gonna pay me what you owe, but also I'm not going to put my health in jeopardy anymore to prove what I already know. And if you don't want to recognize it, that's fine. That's cool. Like, you were like, deuces, I quit. I'm moving to Northern Virginia. Like, I have options. So, like, even now coming back, I just had a conversation on Tuesday with someone where I was like, it's not that I don't want to be promoted. I am just not willing to lose sleep and to lose weight. I mean, I would like to lose weight, but to, like, like, lose my appetite and all this for something, and then I get that promotion, and now what? Now I'm stressing to get the next one. No, I do not. And companies are going to take what you give them, and if I give you my 24/7, you're gonna take it. So
no one is there to ever say, Erica, you're doing too much. You're working a little bit too much.
Let me pay you more. Let me do this.
You're working 60 hours this week. Don't do that.
You need this bonus, don't you?
You're gonna be like, oh, you're salaried. Go ahead, work for free, honey. So I was just like, good. I want to, and I used to be like, I work so I can enjoy life. Like, I work to vacation. And then over time it became, I vacation from work. And I was like, that's not the life I want to live anymore. So, still a work in progress, but I really had to check my motives. And I'm like, people don't care if I get promoted. Like, no one honestly is paying attention to me. So I'm putting all this pressure on myself. But at the end of the day, like, no one's paying that much attention. Like, I'm not enjoying life trying to prove something, and no one cares. But, like, they just want me to be happy and healthy and have joy. And
Love that.
I love that for you.
Love that. That's beautiful. Yeah, it's funny. So last Sunday I was supposed to preach, and I ended up getting a stomach bug on the Saturday before. And Pastor Merrick was like, "Oh, you don't have to preach." I was like, "No, like, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna do it. It's fine." So Saturday, I was just like, "Okay," trying to like get it together, like not just mentally, but like my whole my body was just like, okay, it was a stomach bug for real. And so he was like, "Babe, like you don't have to do this," and I was like, "No, but like." I told you I would do it. I said it in church. I want to keep my word and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, "Okay, but like, you're not feeling good." And I was like, "No, but it's fine. I'm going to be okay." So long story short, I woke up the next day and it was me trying to like prove something. And I'm like, okay, what am I trying to prove? And what good is this going to do anybody? Like, if anything, I'm not setting a good example. Like if I'm up there and then like, what if something happens while I'm up there that I can't control? Like, seriously, that's what I thought about. That scared me. I was like,
The bathrooms are
I think I'm in the
500 feet
same
away.
home.
yes. I was like,
Like
you
we've
know
all
what?
seen that movie.
Yeah, and I was like, I literally like, what movie is it? What is it? I don't know if
Kingdom
it's Kingdom
Come.
Come. That's what it was. I thought about the pastor in Kingdom Come. I was like, because he had whatever he had, Mexican. And I was like, that is not going to be cute.
He would send a message to his family. And the message would simply say,
That's not, like, no one's going to be like, oh, look. Right, look at Pastor Tip up there. And I'm like that's not cute.
Yeah,
and so and then again it's like, what do I have to prove? Like nothing. And so I
And
was
we
like,
still think that you're an amazing pastor.
Yes, we so do.
thank you.
And that when you bring that word,
Yeah.
we
Your
gonna be
on time
excited
word.
for it.
Yeah, and I was like,
We're gonna be
and
there.
I was like, and I think, and I was so glad. I was like, it's okay. And I was like, I'm gonna sit this one out. And Pastor Mary was like, okay, that's fine. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And it ended up being great because there was a few people who needed the word that he preached on
preached,
Sunday,
yeah.
and I was like, it was meant for you to do that anyway. So that was, being sometimes like listening to ourselves, like like listening, like with your intuition, the Holy Spirit,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it works through us because it's like there's something on the other side of that. It's not just about you. So it's like had I went up there and preached on Sunday,
That's right.
like pushing past, what I knew I should have been doing, then like someone who needed that word that Pastor Mary preached, they wouldn't have gotten that.
Yeah.
And I was like, when he told me what he preached about, I was like, oh yeah, I was not gonna preach on anything like that. So I'm kind of glad that it was you, because like they
You
needed
got the word.
that. Like, they were gonna get some more women's lib and all this stuff. So, but so that's like, in a way, like it's obedience
Yeah.
too,
Yes,
But like you
yes.
said, it's knowing your worth in God, knowing it and believing it, and that helps you to be obedient, to God, and then it's just all one big
I love it. There,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna let y'all talk. But there are two things that came to mind. Number one is how important your tribe is, right? Like for me, it was someone being like, "No, we're gonna schedule a call with your HR partner because like this isn't okay."
solid.
Yeah.
And even like outside of work, the friends that I had, y'all like all of y'all knew I was taking leave, like to support me. So that tribe and that support, but also just the word says like, for when I am weak, he is strong. And I think that we, especially as women, especially as Black women, like are so like can be so anti-weak because we've seen what weakness can result in.
Yeah.
But there's true freedom in the vulnerability of letting God be strong in our weakness, and being like, I don't got this, it's okay, and then like seeing God work to be, and it reminds you, I don't have to always have it, because that other time when I was falling apart, guess what? Like God had me that time when I needed to take leave from work and I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. Like God made a way for me to have no lack. So embracing that weakness doesn't make us weak. It really there's strength in it, in the vulnerability of giving it all to God. So that's what your tribe, and
That's very important.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's very important. Did you have anything you want to add? Ain't no pressure.
I mean, so many thoughts are just swirling in my head right now when Erica's saying that, but it's true because, it's one of those things where we can take on that strength moniker, and we've always heard that, like, you strong black woman, or I'm straight, just strong little girls, and who is that strength for? Like, that strength will wear you down, and so it's like, I don't want to be strong. I've been resilient because I've had to be, like, but I think always working, with that conscience of I have to be strong, it almost like it takes the humanity out of our experience and the divinity. It's like we're not machines. Like, if you cut me, I will bleed. If you hurt me, I will feel the emotion of that. And I think sometimes we are not always in touch with the human experience that we're having here. And we kind of get caught up in, the dominant culture's view of this competition. One thing I've kind of heard, folks say that, Black people thrive in community, whereas sometimes the dominant culture thrives in competition. And so just reconnecting to what you're saying about your tribe and your village, just having those people around you to see what you don't see. And I know for me, like, people say, oh, I'm about to hit a wall, things are crazy. It's like, I didn't hit a wall. Like, I crumbled and crashed through it. And so, this is a few years ago, and I'm hearing so many more Black women take the time and just saying, nope, I'm resisting this strength. I'm resisting, because with strength, the reward for hard work is more hard work.
Yes.
There is no like, oh great, this is what you're gonna get, or there's a car, there's no Mary Kay car waiting for you. There's no Cadillac, right?
Yeah.
It is more hard work. And so when you're a great worker, people put more work on you. And so that's what I found, and I'm sure that's a lot what you all have found. And now I hear more and more girlfriends are saying like, I'm taking a break.
Yeah.
I'm talking with my HR partner.
Yeah.
And every time they say that, it's like, oh, I love that for you.
Yeah.
So we're excited to hear
Yeah.
that each of us are getting those opportunities to say, no, I'm resisting this culture of just grinding it out.
Yeah.
That grind culture, that's not healthy for me. And it'll wear you down.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. And speaking of health, so we're going to tackle one more thing. Okay. But, and Dr. Keita, I want to hear from you, doctor. She a doctor, y'all. She a doctor. We got doctor friends here.
Like, the D.R.
Doctor.
Yes. So you mentioned health, and that just, just got my mind going and turning. And Black women, we are dying. Like, we are dying, like, at a very rapid rate. And it is just more and more prevalent now. And I'm sure it was still, I know it was happening when I was younger. I just you didn't hear about it. Yeah. People didn't like talk about it. And so now, like, I hear about it so much when it comes to, women who are having babies. So women who are pregnant, and these moms are just gone. Yeah. Moms are gone, or the babies are gone. Like, something is happening during like labor and delivery, and it's just like,
or after birth. Or
after. Yep. It's just like, it's so many things, and a lot of these things could have been prevented. So it's between that, and also just even if you aren't pregnant, like, Black women are still dying. Like, there was a story that came out not too long ago about this. She was an influencer, and she was misdiagnosed. Her doctor said she had fibroids and brushed off these symptoms and things that were happening like with her for like over a year, and she ended up having cancer. And she just recently passed away. 36 years old, like in the prime of her life. 2 kids, 2 young babies, a husband. She was like
full life.
Yeah, gone. Yeah. And like, it's become like, just for me, honestly, it's become scary.
Yeah.
When I think about my health, I remember being pregnant with Emmy, who's like my youngest, and this was during COVID too. So I was just a ball of just anxiety, and it was just like I felt like I couldn't breathe some days because I was so scared that like something was going to happen. And then like even over the last couple of years, between like last year, this year, we've had a couple of friends of ours, you know, young Black women that have passed away either, you know, from childbirth or not even childbirth, but, you know, while being pregnant. Or we had another friend that transitioned because of cancer recently. And it's just like, what's happening with us? And like, why is it happening so young? And I know I'm not like, you know, I know you can't answer all the questions, but is there anything you can say that'll kind of help us to have a little bit more, maybe like awareness or something?
This is such a twofold for me, and I
Yeah.
probably could talk more than we definitely have time. I mean, statistically, we make up 80% as Black women of our maternity and mortality rate. 80%.
Wow.
That's a lot. It's heavy on me. It's heavy because I have had a personal experience of a family member who I was present, that I felt like I was having an out of body experience. Watch my own family member, that nobody is paying attention. No one cares. This is happening and nothing's happening. And I'm watching like, this cannot be in the United States of America. We don't live in some third world country.
Right.
We're here. So to summarize that, the best that I can say, if you have an experience, share it. If you have the knowledge, share it. You don't have to be a health professional like myself. If you know of someone, you know of something, encourage someone to call. Get a second opinion. Go back to the emergency. Go back until you get that answer. Go back until you understand. Go back until you have your questions stated. Go back until you feel safe. Go back until you feel confident. So that's the one thing that I can say. You don't have to have any of that. You have a women's intuition, which all of us have.
Yes.
If you feel something's not right, if you see something that you feel your girlfriend is explaining to you, I'm at home, man, I got this headache, had my baby, I just don't feel well, encourage her to call, because our culture where we came from, our parents was just like, oh, it's just because you're tired, you're sleep deprived,
You're a new mom.
you're a new mom, all these emotions, it's fine. No, postpartum depression, which could lead to suicide, psychosis, severe headache, preeclampsia. So these are the things that our parents, they didn't know.
Yeah.
So it's hard for us to look to say that we have that, because no one cared then, and they didn't get that education.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's hard to tell your daughter. Some of them didn't breastfeed because they was given this formula. No one took time to teach us to do these things. So now we're in this new culture with these new moms, and we don't have the answers. No one, there's no one, there's not Big Mama, that knows these things, that was educated for that. So the best that I can say, which I try to encourage, is ask those questions. Go prepared. Have your list. Stand for yourself. Have your list of questions that you have. Don't leave that appointment until you have those answers that you need. And I think that's what, they don't have the time. I don't want to bother anybody. No, we have to get out of that culture. No, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm paying for my service, my insurance. I paid my copay. I am going to get those answers that I need, and then I'm going to encourage my next friend to do the same thing. Hey, when you go, ask these questions, say these things, do that. Talk, encourage us to have a conversation, because it should not be a dictation. It's a partnership. When you go to your provider, it should be a partnership.
Yeah.
You should feel a safe space. So that's why I feel, where I come in, that God has blessed me, and why I go hard, that I try to create that safe space.
Yes.
So I hopefully that I can educate you, and then you'll go and educate your sister, your best friend, someone else, someone in our church, in our community. This is why I like this, or we're having this safe space to have these conversations, because we're not afraid to share our experience. Like, I didn't know that about your pregnancy, your last one, that this is what happened. And so many of us have come out of that COVID, that pandemic era, where all these things were happening, and it just seemed like we just got lost in that. And then unfortunately, some healthcare systems are not set up for us. There's not follow-ups for us. No one's doing that follow-up postpartum call to see how we're doing. How's breastfeeding going? How's your moods? How's this going? No one's asking us that. So we have to take a stand to say, this is okay. It's okay to question a provider, because I think I felt the culture that I was, if my doctor told me, it's kind of like what your parents say, that's an elder, you don't question,
what your doctor
you don't
says,
question
yeah.
someone
Yeah.
in authority, you don't question. So I think for us Black women, that has been our culture as well. Oh no, we don't question the authority. So I look at you, the doctor, then
Right.
I shouldn't second guess. I shouldn't go get a second opinion because you're my doctor, No, we can make mistakes too. Sometimes it's okay for a fresher eye to see.
Yeah.
So I think we have to, that's another thing that we have to come to work on as a culture, to encourage us to ask questions. And if we don't feel comfortable, it's okay to say that, and it's okay to keep going until you get that comfortability and you get your answers that you need.
And to find a different healthcare provider.
That's
Yes.
right, and that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Look, hey, we fire everything as we go someplace. We have one bad experience at a restaurant. You won't
I'm
go
not coming
back.
back
You
here.
go somewhere else. Same thing.
Can't even make a salad. I'm not coming here.
And that's
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm saying, and that's okay to say, you know what, this style of your, you know, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
You know, this doesn't work for me, and it's okay to seek someone who looks like,
Yeah.
you know, us, and that's why too, encouraging others too to. Hey, it's okay to seek out someone. It's okay to say, I know you've been with that doctor for, or your mom used to see that person, or this your family.
Oh, they delivered
the family
you.
doctor.
And you deliver, and I know you want to
Family
stay,
doctor.
but it's okay. It's okay.
Family doctor's 88.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay to reach
Big
out.
ages.
And it's okay to reach out to someone new or see someone else for a second opinion. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, look, I think you kind of like
Yes.
shut it down, mic
Tied
drop.
that bow.
Yes. And thank you. I mean, that's it's so important to hear that, to know that. Just even you saying that. I mean, I'm just like, it just gave me a little bit more power too. Like, okay, because sometimes I do feel those feelings like. I feel like I'm bothering them sometimes because the way they like look at you when you keep asking questions. But I used to feel that way. I don't care no more. I'm like, look, I'm come here for the answers. So
Because you're going to bill my insurance.
yes, yeah, you're gonna
take
bill
my
me one way or
copay.
another.
Yeah.
And I got here on time, and y'all were still late anyway.
Exactly.
So
I
no,
got
we're
my
gonna take the time of
questions.
day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yes, absolutely.
you know, I really appreciate that, and I really hope that that what Dr. Keita said was able to really help someone. You know, we take health very seriously here at Heart Church.
we do.
Yeah.
Yes.
All my mind, body, spiritual,
That's it.
all of
Yeah.
that.
And
It's all
spirit.
so important. Because without it, like, what are we? Right? So, well, ladies, look, I mean, this has been the most amazing day. I'm so glad I get to spend this day with you all. This has been great. It's been great. And thank you all for spending your Sunday with us. We appreciate it.